And there was a lot to be given on NXT Takeover.
Amen to that.
But we're here for the Royal Rumble, which let's start with the opening match. We didn't predict for the pre-show matches. So
it was basically what we thought it was going to be. There was an empty arena match, a halfway full match, and the
U.S. title match.
And the U.S. title match, which Mojo Rawley completely.
As much as I love Bobby Roode, the United States title is where it should be on the pre-show. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and especially when Mojo Rawley is selling like that.
Oh, that was awful.
It was. I feel so bad for Bobby Roode. He deserves a lot more, though.
A DDT where you forget lift yourself.
Forget this is his finishing move. You have to jump.
Yeah.
But very slow pace. But let's just get into the opening match, which was the WWE Championship. What does he call it? Cammy?
Oh God. Why would you even do that?
The only reason no. The only reason I brought it up is just the Dragon Ball Z fan in me seeing the fan holding the sign of Mr. Popo. Why Kami why?
Yes.
That's the only reason why I brought it up. But Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus AJ Styles, pretty good match for one of the competitors having a bad back.
One of the best handicap matches I've seen, mostly because of the competitors in it. Mm-hmm. AJ Styles was doing his AJ Styles thing. You can't. The man never does anything wrong. That's it. And
he just shows that he really does deserve that belt.
Kevin Owens did the best he could with the injury that he has, and Sami Zayn was being the perfect annoying douche.
You should know something about that, huh? Brian?
Yes, indeed.
Takes one to know one.
Exactly. And
he holds that title with pride.
And then you get the added.
Excuse me.
You get the added thing at the end.
Doing?
Giving him the belt.
Get your hands off my title.
You get the added thing at the end where Kevin Owens isn't the legal man, so it can continue on. And because at Fastlane, you're probably gonna get AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn.
I think so.
For the title.
I'd be okay with that.
So. Because Kevin Owens Sami Zayn was the legal man, and Kevin Owens got pinned. So that leads to a continuation, and it was good for what it was. You can't really do much with a handicap match. So this was one of the best uses of that kind of match I've seen in a long time.
Anything else to put on that one?
I actually have not watched that match.
Really?
I was on my way over as the match happened to where everybody was watching it.
I say watch it. It actually is worth the time.
Yeah.
I like the fact when Kevin Owens tried to do a monkey flip and AJ Styles turned it into a Hurricane Rana on Sami Zayn.
That's a good spot.
That was pretty awesome.
Just shows these guys know how to work with each other.
Yes.
All right, moving on. We got the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, the 2 out of 3 falls. The Usos defeating Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. Hey, I may have gotten that wrong, but I still won in the night. You and Jeff may have gotten that perfect card, but I won.
The most unpredictable. He will always win the Royal Rumble.
I didn't win last year.
I won one year.
I won the Rumble game 1 year. That's something I can definitely hold over these two. Well, him and Jeff.
I'm just surprised I got as many points as I did last year. This year, I normally get like 3 to 5, maybe.
You did pretty well. You did pretty well this year, but just not as good as me.
Shit happens. Shit happens. I'll get you when we're doing
whatever, man.
Matches.
I'm the Smarky champion, so I'll just keep going with it. What really can be said with this match?
Exactly what should be said. That ending sucked ass.
It's so fun. Yeah. I'm surprised how long the first match actually went. We were actually questioning.
They were hitting finishers on each other and kicking out. What?
We were just like, did they change this? Is this still a 2 out of 3 falls? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It was still a 2 out of 3 falls, and the second fall sucked ass.
And
it's not just because
I still think that Gable botched that.
It almost seems like, even though they've been promoting the 2 out of 3 falls for however much time now, it's like they forgot that it was 2 out of 3 falls, and that's why the ending seemed to have sucked, because they rushed to make it seem like something that makes sense. But the other part in all of it that really, for me, it's kind of confusing, because they've had plenty of other tag matches before on TV and singles matches. They were all so much better than what was given to us on a pay-per-view. Again, I didn't watch the AJ Styles championship match to open up the show. But with that being said, do you think maybe there was an intimidation factor that you have to follow that up as well as the takeover the night before? Because I'm always under the impression, except for WrestleMania, because it seems like WrestleMania, for whatever reason, brings out the best in everybody. It's the biggest show of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Every other takeover that precedes a WWE event, like a SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Rumble now, and probably more than likely Money in the Bank, since that'll be a dual-branded pay-per-view this year as well.
They're keeping the gold. They're keeping the gold briefcase,
which is fine with me.
Yeah, I prefer that over a colored one.
Do you think the thought of following up an event like an NXT TakeOver that has traditionally been better than the preceding WWE show spook a lot of the talent?
I
mean, like, you have to set the tone for the show. You had the WWE Championship match. Now you're following that, and now you're preceding the Rumble match.
From going off of what you said first, were they intimidated by the WWE Championship match? I don't think so, because once again, that wasn't great. It was good for what it was. So it's like, okay,
wait, what was
it's
good?
not
the championship match. No.
The WWE Championship match.
Oh, well, okay. I said that or the takeover.
Well, going off of your first point, the WWE Championship match, no. They weren't spooked by that because it wasn't fantastic. It wasn't great. It was good for what it was. So easily followable up, easily able to follow that up. I would go more with the theory with the NXT TakeOver because, as you said, every single time there's an NXT TakeOver, it's better than the pay-per-view, and the talent and the WWE talent knows that. So. And also, I wouldn't even say it's on the talent because the match leading up to the end point was not bad. It was good going up, but it was so awkward at the end. You're telling me that the most athletic guy in the ring couldn't make that jump to break up that pin? It was a botch somehow. So either the booking was really bad. And he had to try to sell it.
Someone just told the ref, "Okay, this match is going on a little too long. Let's close this right now."
Yeah,
if possible.
So
that's what it felt like to me.
It was either that or, as someone pointed out earlier, maybe they were acting like it was a one fall match and they forgot the gimmick.
I did mention that.
Yeah, so I could see that happening as well because we did. As Tarek pointed out, we were pointing out, they're kicking out of finishers. You don't do that in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the first couple falls. You take...
In the first fall, yeah.
If anything, a finisher would settle the first 1 or 2 falls, depending on
exactly, and then you get into the full meat of the match. So that was... This was the epitome of just weird.
Yeah.
Like, you're watching it, and what's happening?
It seemed out of place.
Yeah.
So
Sami Zayn hat wearing some bitch. What do you gotta say?
At the place I was at, Sami Zayn came out and they're like, "Is that you?" And I was like, because I had the hat and the facial hair, and I was like,
"Sure."
You are pretty pale like him, so you could be his doppelganger.
Can you dance like him?
No, don't try it.
Save that.
There's
for
a
after
camera
the
right
show.
here.
Save that for after the show. Save it for me.
No, today's point, I want to just care. I think all the WWE wrestlers are intimidated by what NXT is doing because they put on, pound for pound, the better show. Whether it's right before Rumble, right before Mania, a lot of times it's just NXT brings it. So when you have the Usos and Gable and Benjamin going up right after a WWE title match with AJ Styles, who everybody loves, and a match people wanted to see,
and you get the Rumble afterwards.
And then you know that there's a Rumble coming after, whether it was the women's or the men's Rumble, you know? That's got to fuck with some people's minds. So I think that when they... Oh, can we curse?
Yes. Yeah. Don't worry, this is not a PG show.
So it's... I think when it was like, oh, let's kick out of the finishers in the first, second fall, it's because, we got to generate excitement. We got to have everybody be talking about our 2 out of 3 falls match. And no, the way to talk about it is, okay, he hits his finisher. That's the first fall. Gable hits it. That's the second fall. And then it's back and forth and make it where the audience is, that's what you want. You want those moments. And if you're going to just have the match and then have it be rushed in the ending, no, like I think they tried to make the match wow when they did too much when they should have reined it in.
That's where you're saying that the takeover spooks them out because now you're just trying to outperform and be that kind of wrestling.
Yeah, because they're young guys. Like they want to be. We could do exactly what NXT does, and it's like
you can't. Well, you can't. I mean, you can.
Not with the time restraint you've been given.
Yeah. Well, and not Chad Gable is a former NXT tag team champion, so I mean, he's been there, he's done that, he knows what it's like. But and another thing to keep in mind too, the WWE audience before the start of the Royal Rumble pay-per-view had roughly about 5.5, 6 hours of wrestling before the start of that.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And then, now we're going to be following up from this match to the actual Rumble match, which gets everybody excited. Anyway, I think this, and I'll let you introduce it, then I'll talk to.
You use this. You use that as a segue to talk about the Rumble match.
I'll use it as a segue. Yes.
Okay, because really, there's nothing more to say about the tag team match. That for me, that was the weakest match of the show.
Yes.
But moving on, let's talk about the men's Royal Rumble.
Which surprised
me. For me, it's just the Royal Rumble. They can have the women's Royal Rumble, but this one is the traditional Royal Rumble. And my God, this was the most fun Royal Rumble I've had in a really long time.
This is one of the top 5 Rumbles that I've ever seen.
Agreed.
For me, this had everything. Like it had the underdog. Yes.
Oh, I can't wait to hear your finish your sentence and then
let him count. It had the old versus new, the showdown at the end. I loved that when it was Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, and Cena versus Roman Reigns, Finn Balor, and Shinsuke Nakamura. That standoff, loved it. Then they went down and it came down to the final 3. It was Shinsuke versus the 2 Supermen. That was the perfect way to pull that off and make it seem like Shinsuke
deserved this spot.
It.
Yep.
Deserves the spot. He took out the 2 big faces in the company. For me, this was. I don't think there was a mistake made here.
I don't think there was a mistake. The entire match, I was never bored. The match was just over an hour?
It wasn't that long, no.
It wasn't a very long Rumble, but there was never a point where I was bored. I was just thinking, God, the spot here, it's really slow.
There was enough action for it to keep going.
Exactly. And considering the names WWE has, including the NXT appearances, there was just a lot of names, a lot of story going on, and it was so much fun.
And there was just one problem with this for me, and it was the placement.
You mean just the numbers?
No.
Who came out?
The placement on the card, because this will come into play later. But considering how this went and the matches coming up on the card, I was completely burned out through the rest of the pay-per-view. I was after this match, because of how it went and how the story shook out in this match,